Hello everyone, bonjour tout le monde. Welcome to EFA93 on this Monday, June 24th. Evening shot right now, 9:07 p.m. Mosquitoes are starting. But I wanted to take just a brief moment here tonight, this evening. And I don't predict the future, and I will never take credit for that. But I tell people sometimes I predict the future. No, honestly, I've had people tell me, "You predict the future." I don't predict the future, right? But I do knowledge, training, and experience. I apply that and or listen to that, finger on the pulse at all times, right? Ear to the ground, all those old analogies. That's what I apply in life. And I was listening to the news this morning, and they were talking about, very interesting, how the real estate market is there's a boom right now, and people looking for. And here's the interesting thing, because back on EFA, back in March, remember back in the beginning, listen to EFA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the beginnings, and I talked about how we're training people to want to work from home, and then we're teaching them how to work from home. We're pushing them into the highway of internet. We have 60, 70, 80-year-olds now doing Zoom meetings and getting their emails done. They don't need the administration no more, less positions. People now have learned how to work from home, so now they don't want their retail space and they want to expand on their real estate at home, i.e. more square footage, and or buy a bigger property. And then what they've also taught people is that because of isolation and because of separation and distancing and all that stuff, now everybody wants more space, right? Everybody wants a backyard. Everybody wants property. People are looking at the country. And all these things that I said was going to happen back in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because here's an example. Back in 2002, there was a strike in Ontario. I was part of that strike. I was a manager. I was locked into a prison for 8 weeks. Me and all the other managers. It was a very dark period of the Ontario government at that time. That time period of labor unrest. It was my second labor unrest strike line duties. 96, I was a strike captain with the union. And in 2002, I was locked in as a manager. Again, that's it. In those 8 weeks, 2 months, I was locked into a prison. I left for 1 24-hour period in between that, and then I went like what, locked in, separation from family, from everything. And although you were with peers, and although it was you had some space inside, you're locked into a prison, and you're separated from everything, and your shifts were pretty much 16, 20-hour shifts every day. Literally, so you have your 12 hours. Your 12 hours always turned into 20 hours. Or during riots, what is it, 60, 70 hours you work? Anyways, I'm very used to separation. So that's the reason I brought up that point. But, and the news this morning, when they're talking about all these things and the stuff that I talked about previous CFAs, they mentioned that real estate market in my region, Ottawa here, is booming. People are looking for more space. People are looking to operate their businesses out of their home. They're talk to agents. They're seeing people that want backyards, people that want country properties. People are moving out. People want their space. And here's the kicker here. Rises and blips in COVID-19 cases in China and India. Europe is mentioning that they may not allow like Americans like Florida to come in because they keep having rises in COVID-19 cases. And one of the analogies I've used many times in my life, to look ahead of you, look behind you, right? What's coming, look what's coming. And when you look at the world, I've said, look at your meccas of social engineering, your Californians and that, right? And look what's coming to a lot of places that are already there. So when I look at the Asian world for the last 20 years, what have we noticed, right? Face coverings. Face coverings for the last 20 years. How many times have you gotten out of an airport in North America and the whole hallway is coming at you with face coverings, right? That wasn't our culture at the time. Coming to a place near you. So this morning, they were talking, what was it? Dynamic separation. They're talking about that. They're talking about how, remember, we got to go forward here and we got to grow forward as societies. And they're probably anticipating more viruses and those kind of things. So they're teaching us right now on how to live amongst each other with masks. And if you look ahead of you, that's what's coming. Whether you look behind you, like look at Asia over the last 20 years, that's what's coming. That's the world we're getting into. Hence why people are looking for their space, because people are starting to feel it. People want their 6-foot radius. Look at people when you walk towards them. Go like in shopping centers, and you see it in their eyes. Those are the people that pay attention to people's eyes and people's souls. Look at their eyes, and what are you going to notice? You're going to notice that apprehension, right? It's not fear, but there's an apprehension. People are all like walking by each other. You know what I mean? Like we're all in the matrix, right? We're walking by each other, right? Like nobody wants to touch each other. Nobody wants to bump into each other. Like, do not touch me, right? That's what everybody's at right now. right? This is the world we're in. Everybody wants their space. Everybody wants their land. Everybody wants to work from home. Everybody wants to get rid of a vehicle. Those that are in business want to get rid of real estate space. You see this cycle? You see this cycle, right? So looking forward, be prepared to more separation, dynamic separation, more face covering, mandatory face covering. That's coming to a lot of places near you. Get stylish with your face coverings. The people wanting their space. People wanting their space. So if you're foreseeing moving, if you're foreseeing getting yourself a backyard, like where we are at today, we were outside of the city of Ottawa when we purchased this. It was basically a property on a gravel road, literally a property on a gravel road that my wife found, and we cleared by hand. I talked about this on previous EFAs. We cleared this by hand with a fire at the gravel road, and that was back in 2001. So those that are anticipating doing that, you might want to start looking now, because it looks like a lot of people are doing the exact same thing. A lot of people are doing the exact same thing because they're looking, and then those that have their ear to the ground and looking ahead, and they know what's coming for the next 20 years, and people are going to be wanting more and more of their personal space so they can breathe. Jean-Guy Bourguignon, EFA 93.